Welcome students. Today I am going to discuss the last part of your temperature topic which is mainly about the different processes through which heat can easily transfer, and another one is the different factors that determine the temperature of a particular areas. Okay, I think in my last video I have already discussed the meaning of temperature. So today let's get started with the processes of temperature. Clear? See, in case of process, we have mainly three processes through which the temperature, that means the heat energy, can easily transfer from one part to the another part. Okay, and in this process, the first one is the mainly about radiation, the second one is the conduction, and the third one would be your convection, right? See, in case of radiation, what happened? Actually, it is the process of transmission of energy from one body to another without the aid of any kind of material medium. That means, তোমার কি যে সাপোজ ধৰা সলিড লিকুইড গ্যাস হয় না, এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ যিকোনো মানে তোমাৰ মিডিয়ামৰ সহায় নোলোৱাকৈ যেতিয়া সাপোজ তোমাৰ হিটটো কি হ'ব, টেম্পাৰেচাৰ এটা পাৰ্টৰ পৰা আন এটা পাৰ্টলৈ বডি যেতিয়া তোমাৰ কি মুভ কৰিব। সাপোজ যেতিয়া ধৰা আমাৰ কি হয়, whenever we get the sun ray from the sun to the earth surface, what happen? They just come in a straight line. Okay, so they don't take the help of any kind of material medium. So we can say that it's a radiation, okay, terrestrial radiation, right? So the radiation is the process of transmission of energy from one part of a body to another without the help of any kind of material medium. And one most important characteristics of radiation is that it takes it always takes place along straight lines. Clear? And ইয়াত চোৱা এই ডায়াগ্ৰামটোত কি হৈছে, যেতিয়া তোমালোকে ধৰা মই এটা এক্সাম্পল কৈছিলো ক্লাছত, পানী গৰম কৰা এনেকুৱা ধৰা ৱাটাৰ পট এটাত তলৰ পৰা যেতিয়া তোমাৰ জুইটো ধৰা ওলাই পেলাই যেতিয়া তোমাৰ সাপোজ ডাইৰেক্ট গৈ পেলাই কি কৰিছে, সি তোমাৰ এই পটটোত লাগিছে, এইটো কি হ'ব তোমাৰ ৰেডিয়েশ্যন। ক্লিয়াৰ? So the next one would be your conduction. See, in case of conduction, what happen? It is the process of heat transfer through matter by molecular activity. Clear? So here what happen? Heat is transferred from one part of a body to another or between two objects touching each other. এতিয়া এই হেন্ডেলডাল এই পটটোৰ লগত লাগি আছে নাই, সো যেতিয়া তোমাৰ ডাইৰেক্ট তোমাৰ তলৰ পৰা যেতিয়া হিটটো পাব, এই পৰ্চনখন তোমাৰ কি হ'ব, সোনকালে গৰম হ'ব। সো to equalize the temperature with its another portion, that means its opposite portion, to ki hobo tumar the molecules start to move from this part to that part. So this process is known as the conduction, through which one happen, the movement of some molecules, okay, some molecular activities, the heat is mainly transferred from one part of a body to its another part. Why they are moved? Because to equalize the temperature. Clear? So in case of convection, what happen? It is the process of the transfer of heat through movement of a mass or substance from one place to another. It almost same. Eta yat ki hobo tumar jeta direct tolor pa heat tu pabo, a portion khinit tumar ki hobo, tumar jekhi tumar air molecules ase, they get warmer due to the direct heat from the below, right? So that's why what happen, they warm up, they have a tendency to rise. So after that what happen, to fill up this gap, the cooler molecules come up. Okay, so upor pa ki hobo tumar jikhini tumar cool molecules ase, cooler molecules khini tumar yala ahi pelai ei gap to tumar ki koribo etia fill up kori dibo. Clear? I think it's a very easy process, okay? Just radiation, convection and conduction. Conduction to tumalke just handle hetu monot rakhiba. Convection to tumar convective activity. It is mainly related to the troposphere, right? So the last one is the first one is the radiation. Because in my last, I think one video I have told you that the troposphere is known as the convective region, isn't it? So convection means etu tumar ki hobo, just suppose warm hoi pela e bostu evaporation khub hoy no. Suppose in case of troposphere what happen, dira tumar suppose it's a sea, sun ray poribo hoy ne, evaporate hoi pela ki hobo tumar warm air khini upore gol, ako tumar condensation hobo hoy ne, to a particular tumar gap khini fill up koribole air surroundings opa tumar ki hobo, thanda bota khini ahibo mane, cool air. That's why the convection current is also related with the yeah, directly or indirectly with our troposphere also. Clear? Then our next part would be your factors. We have different factors, okay, which mainly determine the the temperature of a particular area, right? I think in case of factors, I have already discussed the latitude and altitude, altitude part, because the latitude part is directly related with your horizontal distribution of temperature, and the altitude part is directly related with your vertical distribution of temperature, isn't it? So next, move to ocean currents. See, here is a world map, okay? I think all of you are able to see some here arrow marks, okay? These are red and these are blue. See, the red arrow marks indicates the warm ocean currents and the blue arrow mark indicates the cold ocean currents. So first you have to know what is ocean currents. I just would like to explain in brief what is ocean currents. Actually, I think in your third semester portion, you will get lot of information regarding ocean currents in your oceanography paper, right? So that's why I have just give a just clue regarding the ocean currents to explain the factors, okay, as factors of determining the temperature. See, in simple words, ocean currents mean continuous movement of ocean water in a definite direction or path from one place to another for equalizing the temperature. Suppose in case of equator, what happen? All of you know that equator regions are a very high temperature regions, isn't it? So the currents which is mainly origin nearby equator or at the equator, so they are definitely characterized by the warm ocean currents. So they have always a tendency to move towards the colder regions. Why? To equalize the temperature of its opposite parts, right? So they why, see, here is a suppose warm ocean currents which is mainly known as north equatorial current in this portion. But why as it start to move towards the polar areas, okay, see, they just start moving to polar areas. But in case of suppose northeastern part of North America, this north equatorial currents is known as the Gulf Stream. In this way, place wise we have different ocean currents, okay? So some are warm and some are cold. So in case of cold ocean currents, what happen? They have a tendency to move from colder to warmer areas, right? Or in this way, what happened? The temperature of a particular place is not matched with the another parts of the Earth's surface. That's why we have uneven distribution of temperature over the Earth's surface. Clear? Your next point would be the distribution of land and sea. See, I think all of you have a fair idea regarding the land breeze and sea breeze, right? See, in case of land breeze, what happened? Land becomes warm and cold more quickly than the water body. That's why what happens, suppose whenever the wind blow from sea, which is known as the sea breeze, and whenever the wind blow from land, then it's called as the land breeze. Clear? So in case of distribution of land and water, it is mainly related with this point that land becomes warm and cold more quickly than the water body. So even after receiving equal amount of insolation, the temperature of land becomes more than the temperature of the water body. হয় নাই বাৰু তোমাৰ ল্যান্ডে যেতিয়া তোমাৰ ওয়াটাৰ বডিতকে তোমাৰ কি হ'ব ধৰা বেছি গৰম হ'ব বা বেছি ঠাণ্ডা হৈ যাব সোনকালে সো অবভিয়াসলি তোমাৰ ল্যান্ডে কি কৰিব পাৰিব তোমাৰ ওয়াটাৰ বডিতকে তোমাৰ সোনকালে তোমাৰ মানে টেম্পাৰেচাৰটো পিক আপ কৰিব পাৰিব ক্লিয়াৰ ৰেকৰ্ড কৰিব পাৰিব এটা সাপোজ হে কাৰণে তোমাৰ কি হয় সদায় তোমাৰ ল্যান্ডটো সোনকালে গৰম হয় সো ইনসোলেশনৰ পৰিমাণ যত বেছি হ'ব তাত অটোমেটিক্যালি তোমাৰ কি হ'ব টেম্পাৰেচাৰ would be rise clear temperature tumar ki hobo tia besi hoi jabo so next move to prevailing winds see I think I will discuss in details the prevailing winds in your next chapter, which is mainly about pressure and winds. But here I am just trying to give a hint regarding the prevailing winds. See, prevailing winds is another factor which also affect the distribution of temperature over the earth's surface. So in case of winds that originate near the equator, what's happened? They always have a tendency to blow from low to high to equalize the temperature over the high latitudes, because they always whenever they blow from low to high regions, what happen? They raise the temperature of the high latitudes. Okay, and in case of winds that originate near the polar areas, they have a tendency to move from high to low latitudes, and they also lower down the temperature of the temperature of the low latitudes. Clear? So jetia tumar hetue hobo je in case of temperature, just you remember one thing, temperature, in case of temperature what happen? Heat always move from high to lower areas. That means warm to colder place. Why? To equalize the temperature. Clear? See, I think your next after prevailing winds we have distance from the coast. It is about a distance from the coast buli kole etu so yat tumar sea breeze and land breeze. So during daytime what happened? Due to the continuous sun's rays, right? So tumar ki hobo a particular area to tumar ki hoise gorom hane, gorom hoi tumar ki hobo মানে যেটা তোমার ইয়ার পর ওয়ার্ম খিনি তোমার এয়ার মাস খিনি তোমার যেটা ওয়ার্ম আপ হবো, দে হ্যাভ এ টেন্ডেন্সি টু রাইজ আপওয়ার্ড, হয় না? তেতিয়া তোমার এই এরিয়াটোত তোমার কি হবো? খালি হৈ যাব। তো কি হবো? টু ফিল আপ দিস গ্যাপ কি হবো? তোমার এই সি সাইডৰ পৰা কি হবো? তোমার ঠান্ডা বতাহ ইয়ালে আহিব। It's known as sea breeze. Okay, in case of land breeze what happen? তোমার মাটি কি হয়? সোনকালে ঠান্ডা হয়। তো এইটো তোমার কি হয়? গরম। যদি মাটিখিনি ঠান্ডা তো ওয়াটারখিনি অলপ হলো গরম। তো ইয়াৰ পৰা তেনেকে তোমাৰ কি হ'ব? এয়াৰ মাছখিনি ওয়ার্ম হৈ আছে কাৰণে ওপৰলৈ উঠি যাব। তো তেতিয়া আমাৰ কি হ'ব? ল্যান্ডৰ পৰা তোমাৰ বতাহ তোমাৰ সি লেভ blow হৈ যাব, হয় না? That's why it's called as land breeze. So in case of distance from the coast what happen? যেহেতু তোমাৰ sea breeze, that means তোমাৰ কি হ'ব যে সাগৰৰ পৰা তোমাৰ কি হয়? ল্যান্ডলে তোমাৰ যেটো ঠান্ডা বতাহ বয়, তো that means এই পার্টিকুলার যেটো তোমাৰ মানে নিয়াৰ বাই এৰিয়া in the coastal area what happen? They have a মানে marine effect climate. তো মানে সেই তোমাৰ এটা মুম্বাই সুম্বাইত কি হয়? আমাৰ বেছি গৰমো নহয়, বেছি ঠান্ডাও নহয়, হয় না? কিন্তু যিমানে তুমি কোষ্টৰ পৰা তুমি আতৰি গৈ থাকিবা, তুমি ধৰা ইনল্যান্ডত যিমানে ভিতৰ সোমাই গৈ থাকিবা, লাইক ৰাজস্থান, তোমাৰ কি হ'ব? সাপোজ তুমি ইণ্ডিয়ান কোষ্টৰ পৰা তুমি ভিতৰলৈ আহি গৈ আছা, তোমাৰ গৰমৰ তোমাৰ যেটো মানে টেম্পাৰেচাৰটো বাঢ়ি গৈ থাকিব। বাট in near the coastal areas what happen? Temperature is minimum compared to the inner portion of your mainland. Clear? So hate way. Next I think here মই লিখি দিছো, so the range of temperature near the coastal environment is minimum but it increases as the distance from the sea coast increases. Okay, I think your next nature of ground slope or relief. See, in case of ground slope, what happened? The slope that facing the sun receives more insolation compared to its leeward slope. Eta yat saba a portion to dekhisa na, suppose etu sun de এইখন পিকচার তোমালোকে নাচাবা, কোনো দৰকাৰ নাই, জাস্ট মই এখন যেহেতু নেটৰ পৰা ডাউনলোড কৰিছিলো, সো জাস্ট মর্নিং পোর্শনটো চালে হল। আমাৰ তোমাৰ সান যেটা তোমাৰ ইষ্টার্ন সাইডত যেটা সাপোজ তোমাৰ ধৰা মানে রাইজ হয়, তেতিয়া কি হয়? সাপোজ ইয়াৰ পৰা ডাইৰেক্ট তোমাৰ যেটো সানৰে আহে না, তোমাৰ এই পোর্শনটো দেখিছা, এই পোর্শনটোত পায়, হা, যেটো তোমাৰ মানে সানৰ ফালে যেটো তোমাৰ ফেস কৰি আছে, বাট ইয়াৰ অপোজিট সাইডত তোমাৰ কি হয়? সানৰে ইমান পোৱা নাই। Okay, so that's why তোমার কি হৈছে? দা মানে sun facing slopes are তোমার কি হয়? মানে characterized by the dense settlement. এইফালে তোমাৰ মানুহ কি হ'ব? তোমাৰ বেছিকে থাকিব, কিয়? তোমাৰ এইফালে কাল্টিভেশন বেছি হ'ব, হয় নাই? সো তোমাৰ সেই কাৰণে সদায় তোমাৰ কি হয়? মানে sun facing যিবিলাক তোমাৰ স্লোপ থাকে তাত আমি বেছি তোমাৰ পপুলেশন পাওঁ। Okay, so ইয়াত এটা কথা কৈছে, the ground slope facing the sun receives more insolation because the sun's rays reach the surface more or less straight, and hence sun facing ground surface record higher temperature than the leeward. আৰু এই portion তোমাৰ কি বুলি কয়, leeward side বুলি কয়. Clear? But in case of northern and southern hemisphere, what happens? Why to northern hemisphere? Northern hemisphere সদায় তোমাৰ equator suppose এইটো আছে নহয়, সদায় তোমাৰ যেটো south facing slope থাকে সেইটো তোমাৰ কি হয় মানে sunৰ ফালে থাকে, আৰু এফালে তোমাৰ ইয়াত যেটো তোমাৰ north slope টো কি হ'ব সদায় তোমাৰ sunৰ ফালে থাকিব. এইটো কেনেকে possible? তাৰ কাৰণে তোমালোক যাব লাগিব এই মেপখন এইটোলে চোৱা. Suppose ইয়াতে ধৰা suppose এনেকুৱা তোমাৰ land mass এটা আছে. Clear? তো এই portion খন আমাৰ northern হয় নহয়, বাট এই পোর্শন কোন আমাৰ কি হয় তোমাৰ সাউথ পৰিব যদি আমি এনেকে ল্যান্ড মাস টু ড্ৰ কৰো, ৰাইট? সো সানৰ পৰা যেতিয়া তোমাৰ আহিব ডাইৰেক্ট ইয়াত পৰিব, দ্যাট মিন্স এইখিনি আমাৰ কি হয় তোমাৰ সাউথ স্লোপিং. ওকে, সো দ্যাটস ওয়াই তোমাৰ কি হৈছে আমাৰ নর্দার্ন হেমিস্ফিয়ার তোমাৰ কি হ'ব আমাৰ মানে সাউথ ফেসিং স্লোপ গেটস ম্যাক্সিমাম ইনসোলেশন কম্পেয়ার টু ইটস নর্থ ফেসিং স্লোপ. ওকে, এইখিনি তোমাৰ নর্থ পোর্শন. আকৌ ইন কেস অফ সাউদার্ন হেমিস্ফিয়ার কি হয় এনেকে যদি তুমি ড্ৰ কৰা এই পোর্শন কোন ইকুৱেটৰৰ ওচৰত থকা পোর্শন কোন কি হয় তোমাৰ নর্থ আৰু এইখিনি সাউথ. সো the north facing slope gets maximum insolation compared to its south facing. বুজি পালা? সো দুইটা তোমাৰ কি হয় অপোজিট হয়. Next, I think it's the last one. Kaha gaya? Yeah, this one. Nature of ground surface. Or it will ekebare easy. It is related with albedo. I think all of you know the concept of albedo, right? See, albedo means what? Whenever you express the reflectivity in a percentage, then this process is known as the albedo. Okay, reflection I think sobai jana. So based on the nature of the ground, suppose whether it's snowy, whether it's sandy, so temperature is also vary. Karon ki hobo tumar saba the snow covered surface, okay, receive very low amount of insolation compared to the sandy. Kihor karone? Because the snow covered surface, what happened, they reflect 70 to 90% of incoming shortwave solar radiation. Okay, and that's why the polar and arctic areas are characterized by extremely low temperature. তোমালকে albedo এখন এনুকা টেবুল আছে, তাত চাবা snow area তোমাৰ কি হয় albedo আটাইতকৈ বেছি হয়, হয় নহয়? That means what? The snowy covered areas always reflect maximum amount of insolation. That's why they are characterized by lower temperature regions. But in case of sandy regions, what happened? They record higher temperature during daytime. Why? Mainly in the tropical and subtropical. Why? Because they absorb most of solar radiation due to the clear sky. যেটা তোমাৰ sandy region means তোমাৰ desert regions হ'ব, আৰু তাত তোমাৰ কি থাকে sky খন পুৰা cloud free থাকে, হয় না? So their reflections is I think it's so minimum. That's why they are able to record a high temperature. Clear? So due to the your albedo or due to the different reflectivity, we have the uneven temperature on the our earth surface. I think with this the temperature chapter is over. All of you are I think hope understand this concept. And if you have any kind of query, so do ask me. Okay, so in my I think next lecture I will give you practical regarding the argograph. Okay, so till then, bye bye.